What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming at you with another video. And in this video, I've been hitting a whole lot of secret societies and I exposed the boule, I exposed the music industry, I exposed a whole lot of shit you have to do and to make it big, and you have to understand, I want to deal with a sector that happened not too long ago. Now, we all know that the Cleveland Cavaliers went and won the NBA championship against the Golden State Warriors. But this is another 911 call to action for everybody to stop following sports. The reason why I said stop following these motherfucking sports games and shit, because these motherfucking sports games are rigged as fuck. If you hear noises in the background, it's only because I am recording outside, trying something new. So if you hear things, music or whatsoever, you know I'm outside. Got this voice recorder machine that I can record and then upload it, on my laptop. That way I don't have to carry my laptop everywhere to do a show. I could just do it here, or anywhere that I feel like it. But back to the main topic. The reason why I'm saying to y'all about leaving these sports alone, because you have to understand, every fucking sport events, whether it's baseball, hockey, basketball, golf, all these motherfucking sports entertainment is controlled and is rigged. Why am I saying that? Well, when you look at the playoffs and, you'll see the meme that you're seeing right now, you would know that these top athletes on each team are controlled. The elite tells them when to have a good game and when to have a bad game. You ever notice back then, the biggest joke of all was you can't touch Michael Jordan. Remember that? Michael Jordan, he be getting them fouls like crazy. Every time somebody's guarding Jordan, it seemed like the whistle was kept blowing, and Michael Jordan has scored a whole lot of points behind the foul shot line. Why? Because these guys who are Freemasons and boule, like Jordan, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, all of them, when you look at it, they are required by the elite to win some games or not win games. So whenever a superstar, as people call it, get on the motherfucking court, they're the main ones who get the fouls working in their favor. Now, I know some dumb motherfucker might comment and say to me, well, the raw truth, you have to understand, there was times where the fouls were being called against LeBron James and he was crying. Well, why the fuck was he crying like a bitch? Why the fuck was LeBron James cry like a bitch? Because it's what it's called discipline. See, the elite, you have to understand, the elite don't want you to think you got them in their back pocket. Okay, let me explain this. When Negroes get into this league, this secret society, and they become part of the brotherhood, and they bow down to the white elite, the white satanic elite, they begin to think, well, shoot, the white man, this white elite, satanic elite. And again, I'm stressing that I'm not talking about your regular white man and your regular white woman, because majority of them don't know what the fuck is going on. Some do, but majority of them don't. But when they start to feel comfortable and think of themselves that they are part of it and that they are equal to them, that's when they have to really get them out of that. So therefore, cause is going to go against them. Cause is going to go against them, and they're going to get mad because they're letting them know, look, we control you. You don't have us in your back pocket. We got you in our back pocket, our front pocket. We control you. We sign your fucking paycheck. So don't get too fucking big for yourself. So therefore, we're going to discipline you to see how the fuck you handle it. Oh, you want to cry like a bitch, right? Well, we're going to hit you with a fine, and that's what they do. They will hit them with a fine or some kind of violation or something like that, where they're going to have to fork over money. Well, that's not a fine as if they did something wrong. That's a fine of taking money away from them. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at the playoffs, LeBron James and Stephen Curry, they sold their soul to Satan. Look at the memes, and I could put so many memes up here, but I don't have a movie maker to do it, and this Windows movie maker is difficult, so I can't even fucking use it. I wish I could find something that's so fucking simple. So, and the thing about it is, the reason why I'm bringing this up is, I've thought about it. I've seen the images. I've seen Stephen Curry throw up the 666. I've always seen LeBron James do his ritual before the game. Throwing the powder in the air and shit, doing the Masonic hand signs and shit like that. I always seen this motherfucking ass doing that. But I remember I was on what was it? Tommy Sotomayor, you dig? And it was talking about how Steve Curry had a terrible game. He had a terrible game. Yes, he was told to have a terrible fucking game. He was told to have a terrible game. He threw up wild shots constantly. He was committing turnovers like crazy to give the other team points. You have to understand, they worked in agreement with each other. So you might as well say Stephen Curry, he was part of the plan of helping the Cleveland Cavaliers win, even though he was on Golden State. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the NBA is on the is Masonic. I'm not saying all the members of NBA are nothing but Freemason Boule devils and shit. I'm not fucking saying that. But you don't need 6 people to throw a game. All you need is one. Like the saying goes, one bad apple spoils the barrel. Well, that's what happened. Stephen Curry was that bad apple. And he spoiled his team because that's what he was paid to do. So you got to understand, the reason why I'm bringing this up is, when you look at it, people have always said, even when I was young, is that the mafia controls the sports. The mafia controls the sports. Well, if the mafia controls the sports, then why do we have a favorite team? But when you look at it, the ones who are making the big money off of sports and knowing the spreads and shit like that are the ones who know these fucking games are rigged. They know it. See, the mafia and people like them who gamble on sports and shit, they don't have a fucking favorite team. They don't have them. They don't buy the fucking jersey. They stay in they expensive suits and shit. They don't have a fucking team. And you motherfuckers, you gotta understand, you don't have a fucking team neither. All these teams in every single category and every single sports are made up of people who lived and was born somewhere else. I mean, make sense. You're talking about, let's praise Philadelphia. Let's just say Philadelphia because I'm from Philly. Think about Philadelphia. Everybody on the Philadelphia 76ers team is not from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They have to bring people from different states. So therefore, by saying that you have a favorite team, okay, you have a favorite team, but it's not that state that won. It's people from different states or even different countries who come and help win something for you. But it wasn't Philadelphia who won. It's the talent of different people who help win. And not only that, it's the ones who are part of the elite. Well, who is controlled by the elite who bring it home. Let me make that clear. So the mafia of them, they don't have a favorite team. You won't hear them say, well, my favorite team is Chicago Bulls. No, the team that they know that's going to win because they know that the fix is in is a fucking team that they're going to fucking bet on. And when they bet on it, they're going to win big. Why you think they went after Pete Rose a long time ago? Why you think they go after people who gamble? Because those people that they control can't do what the fuck they do. Gambling is always happening in sports, but athletes are not allowed to gamble. Why? Because you cannot. You're dipping in the profits of other people, of your master, of the elite. You can't do that. So you got to understand, everything is fixed. Every sports thing is fixed. Even boxing is fixed. Why? Because they will hype up a man and say that that man can beat this man, even though that man cannot compete to that level. So when that man gets in there and gets knocked out, we think it's a great fight, but both boxers, if they're part of the elite, are working together to fool everyone. Everything is a fucking act. I mean, it's so fucking a shame that we sit up there and we think everything is real. But everybody they're just acting, whether they win a music award, win an ESPY, or anything that they win. They are great actors, and the people who are not in the loop of knowing what the fuck is going on, they're really ecstatic. They're really excited because they won. They won, but they don't know why they won and how they won. The referees are part of it. If the referee sees, well, I know how to get, let's say, I know how to get this person out of the game. So next you know it, that person in the first quarter get hit with 3 fouls. 3 fouls. Now he got to sit his ass on the bench. So with that man out, what the fuck that team going to do? But yet you see these high-paying athletes do the same shit, and they're not being called. Fouls aren't being called on them. So a lot of people is waking up to the fact, and they start seeing that, hey, something is going on. How come this man can get away with this, but yet when my player does it, he gets called for a foul? So you have to understand, this shit is, it's depressing, because once again, it's all part of the illusion. It's all part of the mind control. It's all part of thinking something is real even though it's fake. So every single sporting event is rigged. Well, I can't say that, because there is times where they just let them play. That way it won't draw further attention. And the team that's supposed to win, wins. But some of these teams that are making an upset, and they upset this team. They upset this team. Why? Because it was that time for that coach to win. Why do you think Phil Jackson, people like him, have so many championships? Why do you think the Celtics won so many? Huh? Why do you think that? Why do you think that everybody that we look at and think that they were the greatest, like Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, and them? Why do you think that? How do you think that they got where they are? Is it because they fought nothing but good boxers and great boxers and they're the number one? No. No. That's not true at all. They want you to take a dive, you better take a fucking dive. If you don't take a fucking dive, they know how to make your ass dive. And we sit up there time after time after time, believing that our sport team is going to win something, and they don't, because there was some sports team that won't win and hardly ever win any championship because they was already destined by the elite not to be winning. So there was stuff. People like Phil Jackson were great players, and then they will have all the great calls go for Phil Jackson. They'll teach Phil Jackson. They'll throw a game or two, against Phil Jackson, but pretty much they will take care of people like Phil Jackson time after time after time after time. Why? Because Phil Jackson is part of it. But when it comes to our people, you have to understand they are being controlled, and they better throw the game. Let they get hit with a fine, and if they keep fucking up, then they're going to send their weapon, the IRS. You ever notice that? I'm coming back with part 2. Stay tuned.